horses. That's horses. That's the new down here for. And then finally transferred up there. Whatever it was, I don't know what he was doing. Yeah. It took for a while and a bunch of stuff. But yeah, he was like, yeah, they got done.
Yeah, you could even pass anymore.
We didn't have a bunch of mechanics, so we didn't.
Yeah.
That was still.
They were trying to run it more like an office job. Yeah. Going to be very professional.
Yeah, yep. Carry yourself in a manner befitting.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Just record it this way?
Yeah.
I was wondering about that, because how the fuck would we do that?
The other way is if I invited you and you shared your screen and we could record that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you don't drive that way.
No, we can. Because my thing was too, is like, that's why I was like, maybe if we could do a way where we could have. Like, we pay it to whatever.
Yeah. And,
I don't know how we can make this up.
yeah.
Practice.
Boat to go out in the ocean.
Just I want to
He doesn't have a fucking boat.
No, I'm okay right now, thank you.
Fast boat.
There's also leader.
I don't want you meeting him, yeah.
It's fucking, it's like 22 foot. With a cafe deck and everything.
I figured.
I told your stuff sounds pretty good. Let me talk to this guy because supposedly. See how we're talking. Not getting it, so we can get.
Hazard awareness. Yeah, just because, especially because what happened was, it's like that, like identifying the hazard. They're both like, I think they're both like 5 minutes, but 1.5 minutes or something. Yeah, it's like, they're like 6 question tests of like, not that they're all fast anyway, you know.
I know he's on Instagram.
All right, Mason. Is it all right?
What?
Okay.
They're huge,
Yeah, they are.
like big and doughy. Like they're cool. That's what I. Oscar.
Okay.
Two.
Watching. Hey, for how?
Good. You need to be smaller. Lot of bread.
Yeah. What do you think? Different from the.
They're just like shit.
Huh?
All right, I got some more.
Like Mickey over here.
No, I don't drink 12 a day. I just have to go. I can't do that.
We're gonna get a lot there.
Oh, he was.
Supposedly, you were saying that they're gonna be 22 or just
Or long ago.
but it's not typically due.
Watching it, we're out.
Because it's 21. It's.
Oh, we shot some buckies.
You know, we're.
It's not a huge deal if we do it.
Pretty sure you would.
I don't think we need any of that stuff.
No, I just put it off of Air
Yeah.
Force. I'm good. Just draw a line through it. In the next page.
You should pull up, you know.
I just turned it off of their deal instead of trying to make my own or try and fucking. Yeah, with that, I figured. It's easier.
I'm coming out.
I hear you send me a website, should say the same thing. We get shirts and everything. Once you get started. What the company is sponsored by, the club is sponsored by, this is so you get that.
Watching.
Like white and blue. Great.
Jared said it's pretty good.
You get fucking lunch.
Yeah, he watch your bike. What do you say? That's a lot. That's a kid say it's watching.
Yeah, he said, you make it something. Red drum with borders. You don't have to write. Scribble. See, I did. You can't tell me David's.
It'll just look like a document.
Morning.
They're donuts, if you do want to do it. And then there's the kolaches. For those of you that don't know, it's whatever Fernando's eating right there. It's just like a summer sausage or a brat where it's wrapped up in dough.
You like it, huh?
I like them, but
Do you like the whole or the?
yeah,
I'll screw it, cylinder.
some different. Figured it that way it changes it up a little bit, so. Alright, so we're gonna do two different ones today. They're two short ones. Part of the reason we're doing this is obviously it's part of the required training, but also for those of you that don't know, we had a small incident the other day where somebody smashed his finger. It is what it is. We all do it. It happens, but we're just gonna watch we've got two of them. One's a hand safety course and the other one is a hazard awareness course. So just obviously paying attention to the hazards and identifying them before something happens. It's not a big deal. Like I said, we all do it. I know everybody here smashed their finger at one point in time, whether it be here at work or at home. It's just what it is. But we just want to bring it up so that way we could try and keep, stuff like that from happening. So, man, not to steal a line from the Worko rigs or any of that kind of stuff, but they used to have a saying that you don't ever put your fingers where you wouldn't put your, your manhood. So just, keep that in mind. But start off with the hand safety first, and then we'll go into the hazard awareness. Yeah.
One third of ancestry makes it hard. Workplace hand injuries are commonly caused by work intensiveness and strength. Hazards include pinch points, fires, chemicals, sharp objects, electricity, power tools, jewelry, corrosives, and temperature extremes.
Turned it down on TV so it wasn't blast speed.
Hand injuries can occur while doing everyday jobs, such as transferring or using chemicals, working with powered and non-powered hand tools, cutting, welding, and grinding. To help you figure out which hand safety PPE to wear, Ask your supervisor or refer to the safety data sheet. Be sure to follow your company's policies on PPE selection and use. To avoid hand injuries, you should perform JSAs. Be aware of pinch points. Avoid chemical and electrical exposure. Stretch frequently. Maintain focus and stay alert. And select the appropriate PPE for the job. Engineering controls can also help prevent hand injuries. Machine guards prevent a worker's body from coming into contact with moving parts of the machine. There are 4 common types of machine guards: fixed, to lock, adjustable, and self-adjustable. Be sure to follow manufacturer instructions and your company's policy on machine guard. Do not alter guards, use broken guards, or remove guards unless authorized. Protective hand and arm equipment includes gloves, finger guards, and hand equipment. Choose your gloves carefully. Each glove type protects your hands from specific hazards. There is no single glove type that protects your hands from all potential hazards. Some common types of gloves used by oil and gas industry workers include rubber, leather, cloth, high visibility, and specialty gloves. It is important to choose the correct glove type for the task. Factors to consider include the nature of the task, nature of contact, area requiring protection, grip requirements, thermal protection, chemicals being handled, size and comfort, and abrasion and resistance requirements. Remember to wear gloves when you are working with machinery, knives, and hand tools, unless specifically required to not wear gloves. There are times when gloves are not worn. Knowing when not to wear gloves can be as important as knowing the correct gloves to wear on the job. Inspect gloves and any hand and arm protection or use. Focus your inspections on holes, tears, and excessive buildup of dirt or other materials. Replace PPE immediately if any defects or damage are found during your inspection. Never use your hands as tools. Hand tools are there to help you get the job done. Powered, non-powered, and simple hand tools come in many types. Be sure to follow manufacturer directions on how to use these tools safely. Keep hand tools and knife blades in good condition. Always cut away from your body. Avoid working near someone cutting. And be sure to store blades or knives separately from other tools. Store blades pointing down. Be sure to put a protective covering over knives when carrying them. You should always look out for your coworkers. Report cuts, scrapes, and punctures so they can be treated. Untreated wounds can become infected and increase the severity of them. Only respond to first aid situations to your level of training. Stay safe.
All right.
Yeah.
Way too many minutes. have to get more pins too, they're disappearing. The ones that I bought last time, that's all that's left to go here.
Juice.
Yeah. We need to do this still. Okay, you guys get it done. Got it. Good. You can have it.
With brand new fishing ship.
Done, Ray?
Here's all good too. Yeah.
It's a bid today.
Get my chairs.
Just dashed by some. Couple birds, I found some metal and they were from, but they were stupid expensive. These stupid, I mean, the plastic ones are even more expensive, really, but still like, I figured, metal chairs, those were like $20 or $15 a piece or whatever the hell it was. So I was like, oh, metal chairs would be like $5. They're like 12 or something. Jesus. Need to find like a school or a church or something that's doing like a sale. Everybody working on it still? Is it done? Is it all done?
Future. All right. I might leave.
All right. Number one, the blank. The most frequently injured part of the body. Hands, feet. Number two, knowing when to wear or when to not wear gloves can be as important as knowing the blank gloves to wear on the job. Yep, the correct A. Number three, workplace hand injuries are commonly caused by boredom, inattentiveness, and blank. Distractions, right? D. 4, always cut blank your body. C, away from. Number 5, store knife blades pointing blank. Downward, A. Number 6, blank gloves and any hand and arm protections before use. E, inspect. 7, protective hand and arm equipment includes gloves, finger guards, and blank. B, arm coverings. 8, blank, use your hands as tools. C, never. Number 9, blank, cuts, scrapes, and punctures so they can be treated. A, report. And then number 10, do not alter or blank machine guards. E, remove. 8 questions. Go ahead and start this next video. Go ahead and pass them to the end of the table. I'll come get them.
Awareness. Failure to identify hazards that are present or could be anticipated is a common root cause of workplace injuries, illnesses, and incidents. A proactive and continuous process to identify and assess hazards is essential for an effective workplace safety and health program. A hazard is any source of potential damage, harm, or adverse health effects to someone or something. Being exposed to hazards creates risk, which is the chance or probability that harm or damage will occur. To identify hazards and reduce risk, employers and workers should review information about hazards, conduct initial and routine inspections, investigate all incidents and near misses, and prioritize corrective actions and control measures. Collect, organize, and review information to determine what types of hazards may be present and which workers may be exposed or potentially exposed. Hazard information available in the workplace may include equipment and machinery operating manuals, safety data sheets, inspection reports, and records of previous injuries or illnesses. Hazards can be introduced over time as work and processes change, equipment or tools become worn, maintenance is neglected, or housekeeping practices decline. Performing regular and periodic inspections can help identify hazards so that they can be addressed before an incident occurs. Conduct inspections of all operations, equipment, materials, work areas, and facilities. Document inspections to follow up and verify that hazardous conditions are addressed and corrected. Assess the workplace and the tasks being performed for any potential exposure to hazards. The 5 categories of workplace hazards are safety hazards, chemical hazards, physical hazards, biological hazards, and ergonomic hazards. Identify any potential safety hazards by reviewing the activities being performed, the equipment or materials being used, and where the work will be performed. Common safety hazards include slips, trips, and falls, pinch points, electrical hazards, and confined spaces. Identify tasks or activities that may result in exposure to chemical hazards. Review safety data sheets and product labels to identify chemical hazards in the workplace that have low exposure limits, are highly volatile, or are used in large quantities or unventilated spaces. Identify any potential exposure to physical hazards, such as high noise levels, vibration, heat stress, or sources of radiation. Determine whether workers may be exposed to biological hazards, which are associated with working with people, animals, or infectious materials. Biological hazards can include blood or other body fluids, bacteria or viruses, communicable diseases, or animal, insect, or other pest exposure. Ergonomic hazards occur when the type of work, body positions, and working conditions put a strain on your body. Examine work activities that require heavy lifting, work above shoulder height, and repetitive motions. Emergencies and non-routine tasks present hazards that need to be recognized and understood, but are often overlooked. Plans and procedures need to be developed for responding safely to hazards associated with foreseeable emergencies and non-routine situations. These situations can include fire emergencies, chemical releases or spills, medical emergencies, and maintenance, startup, and shutdown activities. All reports, near misses, and incidents should be thoroughly investigated. The purpose of an investigation must always be to identify the root cause to prevent future occurrences. There should be a clear plan and procedure for conducting incident investigations so that an investigation can begin immediately when an incident occurs. Identify and analyze the root cause to address hazards and underlying issues that allowed the incident or near miss to happen. Before implementing controls, assess and understand each identified hazard. Evaluate the potential incidents that could occur if workers are exposed. Evaluate each hazard based on three key factors: the likelihood that an incident or exposure will occur, the number of workers that are potentially exposed, and the severity of the potential injury, illness, or damage. Exposure to hazards is addressed by implementing appropriate control measures. Control measures must be effective against specific hazards and provide adequate protection for exposed workers. The most effective way to select control measures is by using the hierarchy of controls. This method ranks control strategies from the most effective and protective to the least effective, with elimination, substitution, engineering controls, administrative controls, and personal protective equipment, respectively. Hazard awareness should be a continuous, proactive process. Employers and workers should continuously assess and inspect the workplace for hazards or potentially hazardous situations. Through assessments, inspections, information, and investigations, we can implement appropriate control measures and reduce our risk. Stay safe.
I think bring it before, once you guys have things get done. I mean, I was, everything I've been finished up.
Bet it wasn't school time again, so you could play. That's what I got those ones last time. It's like the school right before school. $1 or something. Those were stupid pins.
Yeah. Yeah. Just- Yeah. Hmm?
So if we share the screen, it tells me at the mic. Pick up.
Mhm.
Post it.
Yeah.
Just so you get your stuff. So you're good?
Yeah.
Just go over it.
I don't have anything.
All right. Go ahead and get started on this one. For those of you still filling out, I guess you could. What is the common root cause of workplace injuries, illnesses, and incidents? B, failure to identify hazards. Number two, what is the definition of a hazard? C, any source of potential damage or harm. What does being exposed to hazards create? D, risk of harm or damage. Number four, why is it important to conduct regular workplace inspections?
B.
C, to identify and address hazards. See, cheating. Number five, what is a key step in identifying chemical hazards?
C.
C, viewing safety data sheets. Number six, which of the following is a biological hazard? A, bloodborne pathogens. Number seven, which of the following sources may contain hazard information? C, equipment manuals. Number eight, what can cause new hazards to be introduced in the workplace over time? C, changes to work processes or worn equipment. Number nine, what is one purpose of documenting inspections? B, ensure hazards are addressed or corrected. Excuse me. And lastly, number 10, incident investigations should be conducted to blank. C, identify the root cause and prevent future occurrences. Any questions or concerns of those? No? All right, pass them to the end. I'll pick them up. Pat? Is there anything that you need to talk about, want to talk about? Anything he wants to bring up? Yeah, nothing. Joey? You have anything you want to talk about?
We're kind of slow right now for the swap side.
Just wait till tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
When everything calls in.
Obviously, it's slowed down a lot, like we said, from swabbing side. Slick line's been pretty steady. It's kind of the way it's gonna be, it sounds like. I mean, you know, like you said last week, the last conversation we had with, you know, pretty much everybody was that got a lot of projects to do. David and Blake went to that, you want to say Noble.
Chevron.
Yeah, it's gonna be ahead of the Chevron's, basically their goals for 2026, what they want done, what they want to accomplish, everything like that. A lot of it's stuff we already know, but obviously one of the big things that they drove home was they're changing some of their thought processes on how they're doing stuff. They had, they've done however many P&As in the last year, last couple of years or whatever it is, but they're not going to do a whole lot of that anymore. They want to try and keep wells running. Now, in a lot of ways for us, that's probably a good thing, right? That means that, you know, especially some of the older wells that are getting on that borderline of being shut down or whatever, they're gonna wanna keep going. So that means, going in and mess with tools or going in and swabbing or whatever it may be, but it sounds like they're changing their mindset. So some big things like that come down the pipeline for them. We're still trying to get some stuff figured out. We might be hopefully soon working for Chevron down in Texas, doing some stuff like that. So we're trying to get the ball rolling on some projects along those lines. So I mean, we're moving and grooving more than we have been in a while. So it's a good thing. Now, obviously, like I said, it's slowed down a little bit for swabbing, but like David brought up, knowing our luck, it'll be Friday afternoon whenever they decide to call stuff in. We just got to take it as it comes as much as we can. But with that being said, we need to make sure that we're doing it the right way the first time too. Like we said, make sure you clean up after yourselves, doing the job right, make sure it's not half-assed, because we want those people, if it does come down to crunch time or whatever, different situations, we want to be the top name at the name at the top of the list. So clean up after yourselves, make sure you're, raking the ground if need be, doing whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that we're going above and beyond. Should be leaving that location better than it was when we got there. We had that conversation last week about some of the wellheads, like workover rig stuff going in before us, leaving stuff a mess. If so, make sure you're taking pictures and documenting it, letting the pumper, the lead know so they know. And then, obviously, on that wellhead that you're working with, try and clean it up a little bit, make it look better than when you showed up. But
Yeah, when I was swabbing last week, got to some of them wells that, them other companies were on, there's swab dots everywhere. We just cleaned it though, because if you don't, you're gonna get blamed for it anyway.
Always try to leave the location you arrived on better than you.
If you see a little bit of oil or something, just clean it up.
Another big thing that Chevron wanted to make a point to all the vendors that they use is if you see something, say something. There was they had a chart of all the possible incidences that could have happened. The majority of them were in the Permian, but they stopped. I don't know, it was like in the teens to 20s, like possible life-threatening incidences because somebody spoke up. That's a big thing, right? But we can take that and apply it to anything that we do. Somebody's running the wrong tool, say something, right? Obviously, if they decide to keep running it, let the supervisor know, or myself, or your, respectful manager. Because that can go a long way. Not only that, it can save us tens of thousands of dollars if something were to happen.
pre-trips, make sure you guys are still doing pre-trips. It's amazing how quick something can change. I don't know if any of you guys were here yesterday afternoon, but like rig 11, for instance, it was running just fine the last week or whatever that we've been running it. Brought it back to the yard. Was that Tuesday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because yesterday was Wednesday. Good Lord. Tuesday night, it was running a little rough, but it wasn't anything bad. It was throwing the code or whatever. Went to fire it up yesterday, would not start no matter what we did. Stefan went to looking through it. The wiring harness on the one deal's like completely melted and torn through. Don't know how it's been running, don't know how it's been starting or anything else, but it has been, and all of a sudden it stopped. So stuff like that, it can change in an instant. You could have a hose that hasn't leaked before all of a sudden starts leaking. That's why we check stuff. We double check to make sure, even if it's sitting on location and that, swab rig, for instance, it's been in that same spot for a month. We still need to make sure we're pre-tripping it, checking it out, make sure oil levels are good, antifreeze level, all that good stuff. So. Anything else? Any questions, concerns, thoughts? Anybody?
We got a chance. Put like the sandpaper with glue in the fucking.
Oh, the emery cloth?
Yeah, because sometimes with the gloves, it's
I know
hard.
he's talking, man.
Oh, on the outer part.
I don't know if we.
I don't think we're allowed to do that because it covers up.
Cause that's the
Any-
same, that's the same thing as the tape on the pipe wrenches. They threw a fit about that.
Because it could cover potential, any cracks or damage done to the Boeing union.
One said you could put, say, one in.
Oh, not all the way around, so like just certain areas?
Yeah,
Okay,
like it's, piece,
it's either strips
So when you get it,
or maybe
you
just like a
grab-
strip.
it's hard to pick it up from the dairy,
oh, yeah.
it's hard, but the dairy is like this. And the little tailors.
Get stronger hands.
I teach my finger.
Anything else? It's the first of the month, so if you guys need gloves or anything, stuff like that. Swab cups, anything along those lines for you swab guys. Anything else, let us know.
We still have plenty of first aid kits and bloodborne pathogens, eye wash stations. So go through your stuff, make sure it is up to date,
And if it doesn't have a date on it,
replace it.
that means it's out of date, so. And you guys could either, if you want to, with those like, the first aid kits, bloodborne pathogen stuff. But especially the first aid kits, if they're out of date, but they're good, if you want to, I mean, technically we can't use it for work. So if you want to take it home or something, makes it, disappear or whatever like that, put it in the work truck, something like that, or if you're not gonna use it, you don't want it or anything like that, bring it back here, don't throw it away, please.
Especially you guys with the younger kids.
Yep.
I have Band-Aids.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I was gonna say, the bandages and stuff like that, I don't know if any of you have looked lately, but gauze and stuff like that's super expensive. So might as well not waste it, throw it away.
So you say that stuff is on the rail and the pickup?
On the rig.
Well, I thought we had to have one in the pickup too.
Was that one on the paper?
I think technically, according to,
Oh, sure.
That's right, yeah, we do. It's the fire extinguishers we don't have to have, that's what it was.
yeah.
That's what it was, okay. Well, then in that case, double check your pickups too, let us know. So then don't put the expired ones in your pickup, take them home or bring them here. Or put them in your personal. if you want to. But yeah, besides that, there's still donuts here. Kolaches, if you guys want to take some for lunch or whatever, anything like that.
Those are good when you warm them up in the microwave too.
There,
I like the more the donuts.
okay, donuts and food.
He said like some more than donuts. He likes to
He
take
likes the
all
donuts
and then
better
take the
because it's got a
floppy,
hole in
stuff
it.
in the donut.
You know how making the donuts? You know how?
Jose makes them. I saw the donut holder like this big.
Yeah.
But there's plenty to grab extra if you guys want to take some for lunch or whatever too. It's the one with the J, no,